Okay. Now, all the other elements have 2-letter symbols. There's a couple that have 3 letters, but if you have 2 letters, what do you notice about the letters here? The first letter is capital, and the second letter, lowercase. This is kind of nice because it means if we write a formula, we can always tell when we get to a new element because we get a new capital letter. Okay, so if I say CLO, you know that you have 1 element because you have 1 capital letter and you have 2 elements, 2 capital letters, right? And then if I have CH4, CL, 1 capital letter, 1 element, another capital letter, 2 elements, another capital letter, 3 elements. Okay? Although CH4CL wouldn't exist, it would be CH3CL. My apologies. We'll get rid of that. We'll make it a 3. Okay? Not that you care at this point, but. Now, most of these, a lot of them, where do they come from? They simply come from the first 2 letters of the element name. Al, aluminum. Argon, Ar. Barium, Ba. Beryllium, Be. Bromine, Br. Calcium, Ca. Krypton, Kr. Lithium, Li. Molybdenum, that's a fun one. Mo, neon and E, nickel and I, silicon, Si. Oh, and there's a whole bunch more. Cobalt, Co, helium, He, titanium, Ti, and xenon, Xe. So that's like first, second letter. However, there's another element called arsenic. So we can't use R for arsenic because we've already used it for argon. So we're going to need something else for arsenic. Okay? So some of them come from the first and the third letter. So As for arsenic, Cd, cadmium, Cs, cesium, Cr, chromium, Mg, magnesium, Mn, manganese. Those 2 are easy to confuse, so just watch out for them. Manganese has the N first, magnesium has the G first. Rubidium, strontium, zinc, and zirconium. And then we have our other languages, right? Antimony. Oh my gosh. Antimony is Sb. How did that come to be? It comes from the Greek this time. And that was because it was used for blackening eyebrows. So, you know, back in the day, this was the old time makeup, was the antimony. They'd use it to blacken their eyebrows. And it was the Greek for mark, which is stibi, which is Greek for mark. And you're marking your eyebrows with the antimony, the stibi. Okay? Like I said, you don't need to memorize that antimony is Sb because it is on your periodic table. And if you're like, how would I ever find that? Well, guess what? You can go to your alphabetical list and look up antimony and see that it is Sb. And if you want to find antimony on your periodic table, take a look at this. Antimony is number 51. Turn over your periodic table and go find antimony. Number 51. So you notice we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 11, 12, we go all the way down. They're in numerical order. So we just have to find the 50s, which are over here, and there's number 51. So you can look up antimony on the back and say, oh, it's number 51, and then you can find it on the periodic table if you ever need to. Okay? Copper is from the Latin cuprum. Gold, we already talked about, aurum, ferrum. My favorite, lead, plumbum. That's always fun. Mercury, hydrargyrum. Ooh, calcium. That's what potassium is from. Silver is Ag. Sodium is Na. Natrium. Tin is Sn. And if you ever want to remember that one, because tin does come up quite frequently. Have you ever seen those things where you get like a can or a tin and you open it up and there's like a little snake spring thing that springs out? You ever seen those things? Tin, snake, Sn. Tin, snake, Sn. Sn stands for tin. You can think of things like that if you want to, or you can just look it up on the periodic table. All right, so here's a bunch of ones that are from other languages. So fun times with elements, what we're going to do is we're just going to take a few minutes. And although you will always have access to a periodic table, being familiar with them, the names and symbols, is useful. So just getting used to where they are on the table and what they look like is useful. So here's a bunch of practice. What you're going to do is for each element, you are going to classify it as having one letter, means only the first letter. Okay, so if I was to look up, let's see, where's one? Oh, here's one. B, boron, is just letter one, the first letter. So we'll just write a 1. For anything where it is the first 2 letters, we're going to write 1, 2. Okay, so aluminum is the first 2 letters, Al. So we're going to write 1, 2. And I put a dot between them because I didn't know what else to put. You can put a comma if you want to, whatever. If you have one like antimony, which is weird, which is SB, it's obviously from another language. You're going to write L, okay, for another language. And if you have something where you have letters 1 and 3, like arsenic is the A and the S, we're going to write 1, 3. Okay? And then if it's the first letter and then some random letter in the middle, right? If it's not the second one or the third one, it's just letter number 1 and then something later on, you can just write 1.x. Does this make some kind of sense? Okay, go through, play around with your periodic table. You can use the front, you can use the back. We're not memorizing the whole thing, no. What we're doing is we're just getting familiar with them because you're going to be using the periodic table a lot, okay? So if it's a weird one like SB antimony, that's from another language. Oh my gosh, I did this one wrong. I'm so sorry. Antimony should have said SB and then over in the right-hand column L because it's from some other language, which is why it looks so weird. Yeah, for sure. We're going to go partway through this today, and then we're going to do something else, and I'll leave you around. Okay, so don't worry, you're not being too hard. No, it's the same possibility as like you applying for, and then we'll just go over what's just gone wrong, and maybe you get show it. Do we have anything for homework? For homework, we will be finishing this, and then I'm not gonna keep people doing this forever because it's kind of boring. So it'll be just finishing this for homework, and we're going to move on to our intro to the periodic table. Yes. Okay. Oh my gosh. Hi. Thank you. One, two, three. Stop bullying me. Okay, we're going to do something different in just a couple minutes, but I wanted to let you know your homework is going to be to read pages 21 to 24 and do page 25, which is going back to a little bit of Rutherford and the models of the atom. To finish pages 65 to 67, which is what you're working on now, that won't take you very long. And there's going to be a quiz on Monday on the models of the atom, and I'm literally going to give you a copy of it right now so you can practice. Yes? You've already done it at least once or twice. It's pretty much what's on the cover of your book. Okay, I will hand this out so you've all got a copy to take home with you. Hi.
So it says selenium.
Selenium?
Selenium, it's not here.
There.
Oh.
No worries. It's hard to see.
That's right.
No.
Yeah,
Silver are the same. This is that was the British spelling. This is the official spelling. But all our resources in British Columbia have the British spelling. So, anyone else want an extra one? Yes. Anyone else want an extra one? Okay. Okay, I'm going to interrupt you now and we're going to go to page 68. I'll let you finish the rest of that at home, okay? 68. Okay, I don't know how well, I don't have a copy of the book. How well did these color differences show up on your book? Do they look, does what I have as pink, page 68, 68, do they look different? Okay. So, the first thing that we need to learn is, what do we call a row? This is a row. Okay, horizontal is a row. And those are called periods. Okay? Now, you can see in this one here, we have vertical. Those are called that's a column. Column, and a column is a group. So a row is horizontal, it's a period. A column is a group. Okay, so periods go left to right, groups go up and down. So the periodic table is organized into periods and groups. So elements number 1 and 2 are in period 1. Elements number 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 are in period number 2. So you can see along the side, we have period 1, period 2, and then I'm going to get lazy because I don't want to write period like 7 times. Period 3, period 4, period 5. Do you guys know what those little dit means? Do you guys know what this means? It means ditto, which means repeat. So if you put that underneath something, it's just like saying it's the same word over and over and over and over again. So we have period 1, period 2, period 3, period 4, period 5, period 6, and period 7. Yeah? So, question then, how many periods are there on the periodic table? Feel free to count them. It's asking how many rows? 7. Okay, if we look on this periodic table, we can say we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 periods, right? 7 rows. How many groups are there on the periodic table? Take a look on your periodic table and see if you can figure out how many groups there are. There are 18. So if we look on our periodic table, once again, this one's even nicer because right at the top, it counts them off for you. So this is group 1. Group 1 goes all the way from hydrogen down to francium. That's group 1. Okay, and then we have group 2 all the way over to group 18, which goes all the way from helium down to oganesson, I don't know. Those ones at the bottom of the periodic table, we never use them because they're so radioactive that they break down in like a split second. So nobody ever in a chemistry setting ever uses them. You would have to be a nuclear scientist to be working with those elements. Okay, so the fact that I cannot pronounce oganesson is not surprising because I've never worked with it. It didn't even have a name until about 10 years ago, right? Because they had sort of discovered some of them, but they hadn't named them. Back 25 years ago when we got this one, element number 112 was named unumbium, and this was called ununium, and this one was ununilium, because they didn't have names for them, so they were just like, I don't know what they gave them. They were just weird names. Oops, wrong one. So how many groups? There are 18. And now you get to play a little game on your periodic table. You get to go look on your periodic table and find which element is in group 2 and period 3. Group 2 and period 3. So group 2 is this one. Period 3 is this one. Where do they cross? Magnesium. Oh. And what I would suggest is that you write the name of the element, and then just so you get used to it, you write it symbol Mg. Okay? That way you'll just get used to them. Okay, the more you use them, the more they will just be familiar to you. Do you think you can do the next few on your own? Group 17, period 2. Give those a try. So let's find the element. To find what is in We had already done that. You're good? Okay. Okay, friends, let's go now to page 69. And we're going to learn about 3 types of elements. And I would actually like you to start by looking up at that periodic table over there. Do you see the colors? Do you see blue? Blue are the metals. Okay. Do you see purple? Purple are the metalloids. They're kind of like in between metals and non-metals. And the pink ones, those are the non-metals. So on the left-hand side of the periodic table are all the metals, except for who's the weird one? Who's the non-metal hanging out over on the left? Hydrogen. So hydrogen, you just got to kind of remember, it's not kind of where you might think it might be. Okay? So what we're going to do here is we are going to label this section the metals. We're going to label this little diagonal bit the metalloids. And then that right-hand side, those are the non-metals. And we have to remember that hydrogen is also a non-metal. All right, and with your last few minutes, and actually notice down here, these little bit down here, those are also metals. So almost the whole periodic table is metals, with a few metalloids and a slightly larger amount of non-metals, but so many metals. So what you get to do now is you get to go find these elements on the periodic table and decide, is it a metal, is it a non-metal, or is it a metalloid? Okay? And you can just write metal, non-metal, or I don't know, ML for metalloid. You could do that if you like. Okay?
Yes, I know beer. I found it. Yo, I saw that video. These flyers like at it, and then like outside is just like blue wall on the from.
It's because got rid of all like Instagram people that like check out.
Why they get rid of the TV?
Because Trump didn't want it. So like,
Trump is ruining the impression. He will be making it better. Yeah, Brock was like. Look.
they have one.
I still have some. Love your semi up. Someone with Thank you.
All right, let's get those legs.
Wait, was this supposed to go to you?
Yeah, just anywhere here is fine. I'll sort it out. Good, good, good. Okay.
What color do I have?
Just anywhere here's fine. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, so I'm actually Brian's also gonna be on. And then also
Yes, you're allowed to leave. Yes.
So what are the pink ones?
Huh? The pink ones are the non-metals.
So already, I mean,
Okay. So what we're gonna do is, if you have a circle on your multiple choice, that means that's one that you got wrong. So scroll that back so you can see.
Oh.
Okay. So tell me what you know about weight. Yeah. It's the degrees. Yes. Yeah. Okay. So I'm gonna say, okay, put that on that one. Yeah. I know. That one's a tricky one. Okay. Okay, so if you ultimately what's gonna change the mass or the name for what is mass? It's how much stuff is in the object, how much matter is in the object. Yes, okay. See, have you learned something? That's why we do this. Okay, so mass is how much stuff there is in something. Right. So you're going to read through question 8, and you're going to read through question 9. Fertilizer, that's like food for plants, okay? And if you come across a word like that on a test, feel free to ask it. Like, hey, Miss Fitz, what the heck is fertilizer? Because, I know that, English doesn't sound like your first language, am I correct? Yes, so you can definitely ask, okay? So let's say we were to grab weight and weight. Which one would be that you would come available? Yeah, which one would be for you? Also. So yeah, exactly. So we have age and weight. What would you expect to see as the age gets bigger? What's happening to the weight? And what happens? There you go. Okay. See, you knew it. You just didn't interpret the question, right? So if you're reading a question and you're like, let's say, I don't know if you felt like you didn't understand the question, but if you don't understand, please feel free to ask. Or you must have been, Thanks, this one's not corrected. All right. So we have plant A doesn't get any food. Plant B gets 5 milligrams of food. Plant C gets 10 milligrams of food. Which plant is the control group? Wait, what is a control group? Oh, no, it's group A. Yes. Like A, it's like those. Yes. See how you actually do that one? Yeah.
I don't feel like because really.
Don't worry about the English. We're not going to go over the English. Okay. It's just extra bonus. Like Google talking. Okay. Now, there was one.
Oh, yeah, it was 2010. Oh, this one?
Yeah.
Like, I believe that's something, I feel aware of this, but it's supposed to be the thought. Oh.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So here we have team practices 4 hours a week, which is the best estimate of the number of days. So team step 2 in. Know how to find that. Here's 4 hours. How would you go about finding the best estimate? Yes, where do you go up to? 260. Here, draw. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so this was, now what is wrong with the side? Yeah, because these ones, right, this is 5.0, that would be 5.1. So that one's not as good, that one would be better. So you need one more digit there. Yeah. Exactly. Okay, so that one's corrected now. Here and before that one. Right. Now, this one, the weather was so hot, most people could leave their house. Well, if that was true for this, then it would also be true for those ones.
There is a health and safety meeting happening in room 214. A health and safety meeting happening in room 214.
Okay, yes, beautiful, yes. That's what we know. Yeah, I know, and sometimes on tests, it can be distressing, right? So that's why we went, okay, so, you did all of this was really good, so you're actually measuring was good. Yes, and are we measuring weight? Mass, okay, so you wanted mass of rock. Mass, okay, yeah. All right. Okay, and then. Okay, so this was good. The number is correct. Now, why have I gotten this? Here. Yeah, why didn't I? Because this is a 6, right? That's 7 points. This is 7.6, and then this would be 7.7. So yeah, you need your estimator. Okay? Yeah, good. Okay? Okay, so you said it was hot and no one wanted to go to the store, but if that was true, none of these people would have gone either, right? Because this is at hotter temperatures. So what could be your reason why it would sweat that day, despite the temperature? Oh, it's not true. So far. What can I speaking? What? Oh yeah, I can't tell. I got kids. She is 327, I think. Yeah, 327. Okay.
The bread comes there, they have to go to the doctor's. Alright.
If that was the case, then we wouldn't have people buying it when it was hotter anymore, right? You get to make something up. It can be crazy. You can be like, that was the day when a UFO came down and everybody was too busy watching the UFO to buy pop, right? Like you can make up anything.
I wish I would have had any everything.
Well, it's not.
There you go. You know, you've got a great lemonade stand business going on the side, right? I've had people suggest things like, you know, the trucks broke down, they were delivered to the store that day, right? Or they had, some other ones. Yeah, some other store was having sale on top that day, things. There could be any number of reasons, but you get the general idea, right? Okay, cool. Else? The garage. Yeah, I was like, there's no lines. What happened there? Do you want to draw your line? I'm gonna probably learn to draw your line.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. But it wasn't that, like you got your title, you got it backwards.
Yeah,
So
I'm doing this one.
Yeah.
Then like.
Yeah. So title is always this first and then that one, okay, yeah. And let's see what else we have. Yeah, okay, yes. Okay. Yeah, so you get it, right? Like, I mean, and it should pass through 0, 0 because if it's 3 is 0, then it's 0, okay, so yeah. Okay, now this is a reading thing. So once again, I feel like language might be a little bit of a barrier here, you know what I mean? So it could be, right? I'm just interpreting a question. Okay, so you're good. This one, I was looking for just a little something extra there. Okay, let's do this one. Okay, so we have just very disease may caused by bacteria or by spreading in the air. Now, is there any reason that we would think that it was spreading in the air? Is that what they were thinking? Okay, so they basically said the scientists thought it might be caused by bacteria. So if you just said, what's the problem? There's a disease. That's the problem. Or you could have said, what causes beriberi? That's the problem. Does that make sense? You just not get quite so specific there. Your hypothesis is good. Okay. Could be some other idea, not a bacteria. And here I just wanted more detail. So let's see if we can take this paragraph and give me more detail about how they tested for that.
Yeah, you can add in there. Somewhere in this paragraph.
Does it say it's registered there? No, okay, so it says, that's what you needed, no, we're not there yet. Okay, we're not there yet, we're just saying, how did they test the hypothesis? Not what were the results, just how did they test it? What did they do? Was it just that they injected the bacteria into the chickens? Where did the bacteria come from? Yes, who had the disease? There you go. So from the bacteria from the blood.
This is a reminder to all original Bernie Mountain staff, aka the OGs, that there is a meeting in the Recruit Programs office now.
Yeah.
That's all original Bernie Mountain staff invited to a meeting in the Recruit Programs office now. Thank you.
Okay. Just I'll get a lot. So the blood people very good. Now, what else did they do? Is that it for the experiment, or is there something else you can also describe? However, read the sentence that starts with however. So there were that were not injected with bacteria. Okay, so plus another group with no bacteria. Okay, now, when we say should the hypothesis be supported, that means we think it's correct. Or should it be rejected? That means we think it is wrong. So, was it caused by their bacteria? What happened? It said the injected chickens became sick. However, so did a group of chickens that were not injected with bacteria. So, chickens with bacteria got sick. Chickens with no bacteria got sick. Was it caused by the bacteria? So, chickens with no bacteria got sick. Did the bacteria cause sickness? No, because these guys would have gone sick, right? So what do we have to do with our hypothesis about that? We have to say, oh, too bad, we were wrong. They could come up with something else instead. Yeah? So we're rejecting it because why? No, it wasn't spread through the bacteria. All of the groups of chickens got sick, the ones that did not have bacteria. Okay, all right. What should be the new hypothesis? Now you're going to have to read paragraph 3. Okay, so their hypothesis then would be what causes it? What would they say causes it? Before they said bacteria causes it. College rice. What about college rice? Lactose. Did not have. Okay, so polished rice did not have thiamine, which is a vitamin necessary for your good health. So what caused? What about vitamin? Did getting the vitamin cause it? Yes. Okay, so all the chickens that got the rice that did not have the vitamin got sick. So was it getting the vitamin that made them sick? Yes. No, because the rice does not have a vitamin. Oh, rice, no vitamin. Okay, so we got rice. This is the brown rice. Vitamin. Okay, this is the polished rice. No vitamin. This is what they fed the chickens in the experiment. Okay, so what caused what did they think caused it? The polished rice. The polished rice because what? There must be. Okay, last bit. All right. So this was good. We're not controlling the ground with mouthwash because that's what we're cheating. And controlling these staying the same. So what's one other thing that you would want to stay the same? Okay, so this was good, this was good. And should pull constant the amount of. Okay, so we have brown with mouthwash, A, B, C, D, the amount of. Mouthwash, yeah, I know. Okay, so that one's good. And then, how much bacteria is cleaned? That's kind of non-specific. It's not like detailed enough. What are they actually measuring? You could do the test subjects, although like you can do tests where you have different numbers of test subjects in group. And it's not the just most important thing. What else might we want to be seeing between people? Yeah. Fine. Sure. Oh, sorry. Okay, so that was short, but we'll just leave that. What's something else? So the amount of time. And it's not listed here, but you just need to think, what should I do the same? I got all this, let's say we're in different groups. What should we all do the same for each in different grams of mouthwash? Yeah, that's pretty hard to like control for though. Yeah. Okay, so I'd probably do a half a mark for that because like well thought, but it's really hard to say, let's make sure your bacteria are the same throughout before.
Do it like 2 times a day.
Okay, so how many times a day? Yeah, do that. For how long? That's the amount of time, yeah. The amount of mouthwash. Right? Like, do you want someone to have like this much, and someone to have this much? Is that gonna give you the same results? No, so you want, those are the sorts of things, okay? Yeah. And what is a control group? I know there's control variables and there's a control group. You told me what the control group was earlier. No, that's a controlled variable.
That's pretty much it.
Okay, so that's a controlled variable. So if I was doing, we're doing that plant food one, right? The one that does not get any plant food, that is the control group. It's the one that you compare to. It's the one where you keep it all like as neutral as possible. So you can say, this is like my baseline, right? So which group is like your baseline? That you're comparing to? What does it then use? It means that group did not use any mouthwash. Remember, the control group is as close to natural conditions as possible. So yeah, exactly. Okay. Kind of looks like a spider, but I think it's just fluff. There's like, look how much dust there is on the wall. Oh yeah. Isn't that crazy? Oh, anyway. Okay. And then this was good, and then this one. Okay, so this one, air is air non-metal. Yes. Yeah. Okay. There we go. Yeah, I wasn't sure what you meant by N. I was like, I don't know. Do you think non-matter?
I don't remember what I was.
Okay, what do you think about it? Space.
Oh, no, it's like this thing.
Yeah, you can't hold, right? So it's non-matter, okay, so that's non-matter. There are little scent molecules and they attach to the receptors in your nose and that's how you get a smell. So it sounds like matter. Okay? Sound. Does sound take up space? Is it made of particles? No. Yeah. Okay, so sound is not happening. I'll give you a grant.
Quantitative is like,
Ouch.
yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Quantitative.
Qualitative is the quality. Quantitative is the quantity, how much. Qualitative is the quality. You mix them up.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
there's like a lot of factor.
I know, that's why you do this, right? Because then you can be like, oh, when I'm do all that pressure, I can do this stuff.
Yeah, so this is quantitative.
Yeah. Yeah,
So that's the only thing.
yeah. Okay? So you're good. All right? Thank you for doing that. I'm happy. I'll give your mark next day, okay? Yeah. Cool.
Time is spent.
Bye, Ella.